Left-wing culture warring will save Winsome-Sears' governor's campaign.
I'm gonna take the yay on this one.
I'm a tentative nay. So
Okay.
I want to hear your yay first.
So I think the only thing that could save Winsome-Sears' campaign in the Virginia gubernatorial race would be the culture wars in Northern Virginia. And as a resident of Northern Virginia myself, I've personally experienced some of the drama in the public schools. I mean, in Fairfax County, they're trying to teach gender studies to elementary school students over the strenuous objections of parents. They held focus groups.
What about like reading or like
You
math?
would think that would be top of mind. That's actually really not as important as getting pronouns correct when you're in second grade. And so you have this going on in Loudoun County, where the county recently investigated three teenage boys, one of whose parents picked up and moved out of the state over this whole thing, but 2 teenage boys that are left behind were punished because they were talking amongst themselves in the locker room about how they were uncomfortable with a female student being nearby. She filmed them undressing in the locker room, and they're the ones who got in trouble. You also have Arlington County being under fire for allowing a male registered sex offender into a locker room with girls, including children, where he exposed himself. And all of these policies run afoul of what Youngkin had tried to do as governor. They're openly defying the state government. They're openly defying the federal government. It's not popular with anyone except a really vocal minority. This is what propelled Youngkin into the governor's mansion the first time. And if Winsome-Sears can capitalize on this and, put herself out there as I'm going to finish what Youngkin started, which is the most popular part of his agenda, she may have a chance.
Yeah, so we all saw when Winsome-Sears is at this Arlington County Public School District Board meeting, I think we call them awfuls, affluent white liberal female.
Oh, I've never heard that. I love that. I'm stealing that.
Carrying a sign that said, if trans can't use our bathrooms, then blacks can't use our water fountains. Which is like so... To write that out and not realize how appallingly racist that is.
That woman was like, this is a good sign. I'm gonna hold this up.
And this is a white woman that did this. So just to be clear, to not realize how appallingly racist it is. And also, I think you can have a reasonable conversation about if you're dealing with a minor with severe gender dysphoria, they feel incredibly uncomfortable being in the locker room of their actual biological sex. Maybe can we talk about letting them temporarily use the, handicap restroom or something like that. To jump to adult biological men must be able to be in an Arlington gym locker room with little girls, that is the same thing as the civil rights movement and undoing a legacy of hundreds of years of slavery in this country. You've lost the plot. So I say all of this to say, while I think it takes Winsome-Sears very close, I think no cigar, because we are dealing with the general labor market weakening, and specifically Northern Virginia, that is the epicenter of DOGE, the DOGE cuts. So you have a lot of federal workers that, some of them were fired. A lot of them did take the Trump buyout, which means, they've had 6 months of paid vacation, but they're still bitter about it. So it's just the question of how does Winsome-Sears get the, let's call them the Romney, Clinton, didn't vote 2020 vote, who then voted for Glenn Youngkin.
Right.
The Romney, Clinton, Youngkin voter. If the focus is on these insane schools that would rather teach your kids, I don't get it. I remember studying history and science in school, but maybe I wasn't cool enough. If the focus is on that, then I do think it has a fighting chance, but just if we continue to see weakness in the national economy, it's going to be hitting Virginia even harder, just because you do have this disproportionate concentration of these exiled, DOGE fatalities in the employment sense. But we'll see.